So make your way to your back. Knees are going to be bent, heels into your hips. And just take a few breaths here just to start. Feel your feet grounded down into the earth. You can just float your arms overhead. It doesn't make a difference. If you're more comfortable with them down by your side, you can do that. Take some nice deep breaths. Really filling the lungs with each inhale. And really emptying the lungs fully with each exhale. Closing down the eyes and taking note of how that breath feels. Really watching it, observing it with that mind's eye, looking at all of those little elements of it. Maybe taking note about whether your rib cage lifts and separates with the inhale. What begins to press into the mat as you exhale. And then finding a fullness, a completeness, maybe exaggerating all of those movements. Inhale, really forcing that expansion and that lift as you inhale. And then as you exhale, pushing the air out at the end. Feel what happens to the small of your back as you do that. Taking a few more breaths here. Just exploring your own lung capacity. I'm not counting it on purpose so that you don't feel like you need to adhere to my count. Having the freedom to really explore your own body. Then bring your arms overhead as you inhale. Reach, and we're going to arch the back. So go ahead and let the small of your back lift up off of the mat, almost like a yawn. And then as you exhale, reach your fingertips towards your heels, pushing the small of your back down into the mat, lifting your head and shoulders, reaching your fingertips forward. Again, inhale, bring those arms overhead. Big arch in your back, stretching, reaching, and then exhale, fingertips towards your heels, head and shoulders lift, squeezing your belly button in. Inhale again, reach overhead. And exhale, pull it in, pull your belly button into your spine, knit your ribs together. Last one like that. Inhale, reach overhead. And exhale, pull your ribs in, reach your fingertips with your heels, and this time we're going to hold. Your head and shoulders are completely lifted off the mat. Your heels are pressing into the mat. Your belly button is snapped into your spine, and there's a full contact with the small of your back with your mat. Hold it here and squeeze it here. And we're going to reach those left fingertips, maybe even touching your left ankle, pinching that left side of your waist. Hold it, squeeze it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side, reach your right fingertips for your right ankle. Really squeeze the right side of your waist. Your head and shoulders are lifted up off of the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back over to the left. Hold it here, squeeze it. So we're working the front of our obliques. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over to the right. Squeeze it. Right side, really pinch it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Reach your arms overhead. Find that big arch in your back, big opening of the front body. And then lift it up again. Reach those fingertips for your heels. Ribs are knitted together, pulled, and belly button into your spine. We're going to lift those knees, pull them together. Knees together, ankles together. So don't bring your knees towards your nose. You're going to leave your knees right over your hips. 90 degrees at your hips, 90 degrees at your knees. Keep reaching forward, keep reaching forward. Hold it here. Now without letting those head and shoulders relax down, you're just gonna bring your arms overhead. Squeeze it here, gaze is up. Reach your feet straight up from your hips. Head and shoulders are still lifted. Hover your right heel. 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Hover your left heel. 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Bend your knees. Reach your arms overhead. Big inhale here. Exhale again. Reach your fingertips forward. Peel your heart off the mat. Shoulder blades are lifted. Head is lifted. Send those feet up. Keep squeezing your ribs in, squeezing your belly button in. Hover your right heel and lift. Left and lift. Small of the back stays glued to the mat, right down. Lift it up. Left down. Lift it up. Now we're just going to scissor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both legs up. Keep squeezing it up. Reach your arms overhead. Head and shoulders still lifted off the mat. Keep scissoring for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet up. Release your head and shoulders back. Breathe through that front body. Nice big rest. Good. One more time. As you exhale, reach your fingertips forward. Heart and shoulders lift up off of the mat. We're going to find 10 more here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't let those head and shoulders come down. Find 10 more for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull your knees in. Give them a nice squeeze left and right. Now send those feet straight up again. We're going to reach those arms straight up to the ceiling. Legs are super strong and straight. We're going to squeeze it up and lower it down. Lift it up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to hold it at the top this time. So pull your ribs in, knit them together. Pull your belly button into the spine. Your hands are up. They're not really towards your feet. They're straight up from your shoulders. Now try to touch the sky. Little pulses at the top for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to roll it up and find Navasana. Hands forward, feet up, shoulders are back. Head is lifted. Good. Lower. Tap your right heel, squeeze it up. Left and up. Right. Left. Right. Left. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both feet up. Hold Navasana. Hold it here. Shoulders back. Heart is lifted. Gaze is up. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees. Cross your ankles. Plant your hands. Find a tabletop position. Knees underneath your hips. Wrists underneath your shoulders. Let's linger in that first cow pose. Untuck your toes, press the tops of your feet down into the mat. Broaden your collarbones and just let that belly hang, lifting your chin, lifting your tail. And then moving into your cat and cow. So as you exhale, rounding your back, find your cat pose. And as you inhale, moving through cow. Let's find a little bend of the elbow this time. I'm pretty strict with my spinal articulation during cat-cow, but for today, let's bend those elbows and make this really dramatic. Maybe 2 more rounds. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, and then find a neutral spine. Knit your ribs together. Begin to press into that right foot. Send that left leg straight back. Rolling up from your inner left thigh. We're going to start to reach your left knee to your left shoulder. Crunch it in on the left side, and then send it back long. Again, squeeze it in and back. Tap it and back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send it back. Let that right foot come behind you. Just lay your left foot down and reach your left arm up and over. We'll find a stretch along that left side. Try to scoot your booty underneath your body. We'll bring that left hand down and bring your left knee back into its knee print. Start to push into the top of that left foot. Find a nice neutral spine, knit your ribs together, and we'll send that right leg back. Think about spinning the inside of that right thigh up to the sky. And as you exhale, bring your right knee to your right shoulder and back. Bring it in and back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send it back. Let that left foot come behind you slightly. Lay your right foot down and reach your right arm up and over. And right bicep next to your right ear. We'll bring that right hand back down. Find your tabletop position. Inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Send that left leg straight back. Knit your ribs together. Nice neutral spine, this time with a straight leg. You're going to bring that left thigh all the way to your left shoulder and send it back. You need to bend a little bit at the top, bend it, but make it touch. Send it back. 5, you should feel a really good squeeze along the left side of your waist. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send it back. Bring your right foot behind you. We're going to lay that left foot down and reach your left arm up and over. Big stretch along that left side. Start to lift your left leg. We're going to reach back, grab for the outside of your left foot with your left hand and kick. So this is just a modified sugar cane. Reach everything long once again. Then let that left foot find the mat. Bring it all the way up for a gate pose. Left fingertips start to walk down that left leg. Right arm up and over. Really try to push your hips forward, right? Sending your right hip right over that right knee. And then we'll come back, windmill your hands down, and release that left knee. down into its knee print. Send your right leg back. Nice solid core, pull those ribs in. We're going to swing that right thigh to your right shoulder and back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back, lay your right foot down, and reach your right arm up and over. Stretching out that right side. And then we'll lift your right leg, reach back, grab for the outside of your right foot, and kick. Try to scoot your booty underneath your body. Really finding that nice big opening. We'll send everything long. And then let your right foot come down to the mat. Walk your right fingertips down your right leg and reach your left arm up and over. Send that left hip right over your left knee. And then we'll windmill it down to the mat. Bring your feet back, find your plank, hips high and back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. First dog of the day, really push that left heel down into the mat. Let your right knee just bend. And then we'll switch. Right heel comes down, bend your left knee. And then both heels come down. Wrap your triceps so they're pointing down at the mat. Firming your shoulder blades, just allowing your head to be heavy. Come up way high onto the balls of your feet, heels lift. Roll it forward to plank. As you inhale, you can drop to your knees. We're going to move through 5 vinyasas. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale it back. So really trying to move with your breath. It doesn't matter if you match me. Inhale, plank. Exhale, halfway. Inhale, push it through. And exhale, send it back. 3 more. Inhale, plank. Exhale it down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more. Bring it forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, push it through. And exhale it back. Inhale it forward. Exhale down. Inhale through. And exhale back. Beautiful. Drop your knees wide. Big toes are going to touch. Send it back to child's pose. Inhale it through center. Exhale, let those hips fall forward. Bring your toes up to your head. Inhale through center. Exhale it back. Inhale it forward. So right now we're just trying to get into our hip flexors before we do a static stretch. We're doing a dynamic stretch. 2 more. Inhale, center. Exhale, hips forward. Inhale, center. Exhale it back. Last one. Inhale, center. Exhale, hips forward. Inhale, center. And exhale it back. Curl your toes under. Find your downward facing dog and step your right foot between your hands. Have your block handy or your book or whatever you're using at home. And take your time. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. So we're going to try and get into that left psoas. And in order to do that, we're going to need to send those hips forward. You're going to need to lift your ribs. We're going to need to find just a slight back bend. And then we're going to need to open up the ribs and take it over. Okay, so that's the progression we've got going on here. So for these first few breaths, I want you to let those hips go forward. Without hanging in your ligaments. So you're going to find just a slight tuck of the tailbone towards that right heel. That's going to stabilize your pelvis. And begin to breathe, right? Using your breath and your mind's eye, finding that stretch. Your lower psoas you can usually find pretty quickly, just feeling it, but it's a long muscle, it attaches right in the middle of your spine. So there's 2/3 of it that you don't readily feel until we start to do other things. Grab your block, put it right next to your right thigh. We're gonna reach that left arm up. We're gonna find just a little bit of a back bend, just a little, right? You're not going for full flexibility here. And then we're gonna let that right arm go over to the left arm go over to the right, just slightly. And then keeping those hips moving forward, keeping that bit of a back bend, keeping that little bit of a side bend, you're just gonna open up your rib cage. And then after you do that, you're gonna bring it over even more. Holding it here. Using your breath, every exhale, find a little bit of surrender. And then we'll come back to center. We're gonna bring both hands to the inside of that right foot. I'm gonna heel to that right foot. Out to the right, point your right toes out and find a little lizard pose here. If it's available to you without rounding your back and you want to come down to your forearms, you can come down to your forearms. Rolling onto the outside of that right foot. Bringing your hands back in. Bringing your left hand right below that left shoulder. Your choice whether you just want to lay your right hand right on top of that right thigh, or if you're pretty open and you're not worried about getting hurt, you can start to push it gently open and start rotating your heart up to the sky. Again, this is stretching out here, your right hip for sure, but this is a pretty intense psoas stretch, so move slowly and carefully. And then if you'd like to extend your right hand behind you and pick up that right foot and pull it in, you can. Rolling your shoulders back, maybe looking up to the sky. Bring your hands back in. We're going to heel toe that right foot. Point it forward and shift your hips back. Flex your right toes. And find a hamstring stretch, folding over that right leg. And then we'll bend into that right knee. Curl your left toes under and step your left foot forward to meet your right. Finding a forward fold, keep your feet hip distance apart. I'm gonna hang for a ragdoll here. Just let your head be heavy. Shake it out, no, and nod it, yes. Rock a little bit left and right. We're gonna bring that left foot behind and then over to the outside of your right foot and start to walk your fingertips over to the right side of your mat. Weight stays even in your feet. Really keep that left leg completely straight. Fold over your legs. Find a stretch along that left IT band. And then we'll come back to center. Leave your legs crossed like this. Bring your hands together. Push through your feet. Reach it all the way up to the sky. Interlace your hands. Release your index fingers up. Take a nice big breath and then allow your hips to go to the left as your arms go over to the right. Inviting that left hip forward and rolling your left shoulder back. Squeezing the right side of your waist. We'll come back to center and fold, hands through heart center. Step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Plant your hands. Step your right foot back to meet your left, and we'll move through Vinyasa lower halfway. Inhale, push it through, and exhale, send it back. Step your left foot between your hands. Drop your right knee. Grab your block. Bring it to the outside of that left leg. And then take your time. over here. So find just a little bit of a tuck of your tailbone towards your left heel. Finding that stretch along that right side, right? Resisting the temptation to just hang in your joints though. Right. And then we'll reach that right arm up to the sky. Find just a little bit of a back bend, just a little. We're gonna reach it over to the left. Find just a little bit of a side bend. Keep pushing into the top of that right foot. Without taking your hips with you, roll your rib cage open to the right, and then a little bit more of a bend over to the left. And we'll come back to center and bring both hands to the inside of that left foot. Walk your left foot out to the left, point those left toes out, and find your lizard pose here, allowing that maybe rolling out into the outside of that left foot, coming down onto your forearms. If that's available to you, heart keeps reaching forward. Don't round your back. You need to stay on your hands, stay on your hands. And then we'll plant that right hand, right below your right shoulder. Bring your left hand to the inside of that left thigh. Maybe you just lay it there and roll your shoulder back, or you can start to push that left leg away from you, rolling your left shoulder back, pushing into that right hand. Reaching your left hand behind you will pick up that right foot and pull it in any amount, sending your heart up to the sky. And then we'll bring both hands down, heel toe that left foot back in, toes point forward, shift your hips back, fold over that left leg. Find your hamstring stretch, your Ardha Hanumanasana, half split. And we'll bend into that left knee. We're going to step your right foot forward to meet your left. Keep your feet hip distance apart. Pick up the soles of your feet and slide the palms of your hands underneath for gorilla pose. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward. And exhale, hips go high up to the sky, bending your elbows out or back. Releasing your hands from underneath your feet. We'll bring that right foot behind and then over to the outside of your left foot. Bring your hand over to the left side of your mat. Start to walk them and fold over your legs. Right leg stays super strong and straight. And then we'll come back. Bring your hands to center. Keep your legs crossed. Interlace your fingers. Release your index fingers up. Strong legs. Lift it all the way up to the sky. Start to push, 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 push. Lift your ribs. Tuck your tailbone under. And then start to reach your fingertips over to the left, pushing your hips out to the right. Inviting your right hip forward and rolling that right shoulder back. And then we'll come back up tall. We're going to unwind those legs. You can release your hands to your low back if you need the support. Otherwise, keep your hands up. Start to lift up, drop your head back, send your hips forward, and draw a line behind you. Strong legs, strong glutes. 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Strong legs and body. We're going to come all the way forward. Release your fingertips down to the mat. Pick up your heels, round your back, tuck your chin, bring your forehead all the way to your knees. Keeping this nice big tuck, plant your hands. Then let those heels find the mat and only lift your hips as high as they'll go, keeping that connection between your ribs and your thighs. Again, nice big rounding of the back. Pick up your heels, bend your knees, forehead to knees. Then start to let those heels find the mat. Lift your hips. Hands stay planted and strong. One more, just like that. Bend your knees, lift your heels, round your back, tuck your chin. Let your heels find the mat. Ribs stay connected to your thighs. Lift your hips. Beautiful. Inhale, lengthen, half lift. And exhale, move through your vinyasa, step or float. I'm going to step on this one. Lower halfway down. Inhale, push it through. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up behind you. We're going to open up the hip, bend the knee, maybe rotate it up even more. If you want to flip your dog, you can flip your dog. If you want to take it all the way into your full wheel, take it into your full wheel. If you're in a full wheel, start to make your way back. Find your three-legged dog and step your right foot between your hands. Warrior one. Sweep it up, arms reach up, gaze is up. Interlace your hands behind your back. Lift your heart, lift your chin, and we'll find a humble warrior. Folding over that right leg, bring your right shoulder, just rest it on top of that right thigh. Push into your right heel. We're going to straighten that right leg. Bring your hands behind you, either for a reverse Anjali Mudra, that's your namaste hand, or you can find fist to fist or elbow to elbow. We're going to walk that left foot in slightly, hinge at the hips, and find a pyramid pose, looking down at that right foot. Strong right leg. Bring your left hand down to the inside of that right foot. We'll reach your right arm up to the sky for a revolved pyramid. Looking up at that right hand if it's available to you. If you need to keep your right hand on your hip, you can do that, scissoring your legs. Then we're going to soften that right knee and step into your revolved half moon. So lift your left leg as high as your hip and reach your right arm up. Bring your right hand down and bring your left hand up, taking this into our half moon pose. You can take it up as a balancing variation if you like. Stacking your left hip on top of your right. Soften your right knee and step back into warrior two. Right hand forward, bend into that right knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, side angle. We're not going to stay long, so maybe just this variation of side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Stay low in your lunge though. And exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, unsupported side angle. Then both hands forward. Really bring your attention to this right hip crease. How deep can you make it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, windmill it down. Move through your vinyasa any way you want it to look. Knees up or down. Maybe you want to work a handstand in there, chin stand in there. Your choice. Inhale your left leg up and open up the hip. Then that left knee, rotate it up. If you want to flip your dog, go ahead and flip your dog. If you want to take it all the way into your full wheel, take it into your full wheel. If you're in your full wheel, start to make your way back. Find your three-legged dog and bring your left foot between your hands. Bring it up for warrior one. Deep bend in your left knee, right heel finds the mat, gazes up. Interlace your hands behind your back, lift your heart, lift your chin, and then we'll hinge into humble warrior. Left shoulder finds your top of your left thigh. Arms come overhead. Push into that left heel. Reach it all the way up. And then we'll we'll find a reverse namaste, reverse Anjali mudra. That's your namaste hands. Either fist to fist or elbow to elbow if that's not available to you. Straighten that left leg. We'll walk that right foot in slightly. Square off your hips and your ribs and start to hinge over that left leg. Spine stays straight, gazing down at that left foot. Bring your right hand down to the inside of that left foot. We're going to reach your left arm up to the sky. Great place to use your block if you need to. Maybe looking up at that left hand, scissoring your legs, pulling that left hip back. And then we'll look a few inches in front of you. Place your right fingertips down a little bit forward and lift that left leg as high as your hips, finding your revolved half moon. Then we'll bring that left hand down, bring your right hand up, open up the hips, and find your half moon. Oop. And then we'll step it back for warrior two. Bending into that left knee, looking out over that left hand. Nice deep bend in that left knee. If you need to wiggle your toes apart from each other, do it. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. Legs stay the same. Nice deep lunge. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, unsupported side angle. Send both hands forward. Really strong right leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, we'll windmill it down. Move through your vinyasa. Push it through. And find your downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank pose. We'll take a right side plank. So right hand down, roll onto the outside of that right foot and reach your left arm up. Start to lift that left leg up. And we're going to crunch it in elbow to knee. Squeeze it, send it long. 4, 3, 2. Hold this last one. Hold it, elbow to knee, pull it in. Send everything long. And we'll bring that left hand down, roll onto the outside of that left foot. Reach your right arm up. And then we'll lift that right leg and pull it in, elbow to knee, squeeze it, send it long. 4, 3, 2, hold this last one, hold it, squeeze elbow to knee, woo, send everything long. And we'll bring your right hand down and left hand down, find your plank. Rock forward, lower halfway, push it right back up to plank. 4 more, lower halfway, push it up. 3 more, push it up. 2 more, push it up. Last one, we're gonna hold this chaturanga. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower it all the way down. Push into the tops of your feet, find your baby cobra. Elbows back and together, no weight in your hands, nice neutral neck. Keep pushing to the tops of your feet. Keep finding the strength of this pose. Lift it up. A little bit more. Little bit more. Little bit more. Float your hands. 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Find your downward facing dog. Look forward. We're going to float to the top of the mat or step. Lengthen into your half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, push through your feet. Reach it all the way up. And exhale, hands at your side, Tadasana. Pushing into your left foot, you're going to pick up your right knee, rotate it out. Bring your hands to heart center. But to really activate that left leg, right? Super solid. Pushing down into the mat. Low abdominals engaged, right? Pubic bone is lifted. Ribs are knitted together. Pick up your right foot and give it a home somewhere along the inside of that left leg. I'm never going to take for granted hardwood floor in the studio again. Carpet is hard. Hands come to heart center. Gaze is soft and steady. Navel is pulled in. Maybe you start to lift your arms up to the sky. Maybe your tree starts to grow some branches. And then we'll bring your hands back together. And release your right foot down. Start pushing into that right foot. We're going to pick up that left knee, rotate it out. Strong right leg, engage core, ribs pulled in. Find a home for that left foot that isn't your knee. Hands return to center. Gaze is soft. If you want to send your arms up, you can send your arms up. If you want to open up, you can open up and let your tree grow some branches. And then we'll bring those hands back to heart center and change. Inhale, arms up overhead. We'll bring your right elbow next to your right hip. We're going to pick up that right foot and bring it into the inside of that, inside of your right foot to your right hand. I know you guys all see where we're going, dancer pose. You can flip your left hand, palm forward, and start to kick your foot into your hand, strong left leg. Keep kicking, keep reaching. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on back, Tadasana. Arms up overhead. We'll bring that left elbow next to your left hip. Pick up your left inside of your left foot. Bring your knees back together. Send your right palm forward. Start to kick your left foot into your left hand, reaching forward. Right hand goes forward, strong right leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on back. Left foot down. Tadasana. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. We're going to take a crow pose here. Plant your hands. Bring your knees into your armpits. Look forward, lean forward, pick up your heels, pull it together. Everything squeezes in. 3, 2, 1. As you exhale, shoot them back, push it through, and send your hips back, downward facing dog. Knees out wide, drop them down to the mat. Send your hips back to your heels. Leave your left hand forward. We're going to bring that right arm through. Thread the needle, right palm faces up. And start to walk those left fingertips forward. So really pulling them forward and roll that left shoulder down. So stretching here in both directions. And then if you would like to bring that left hand behind you and tuck your left fingertips into your right thigh, you can do that and take the double stretch here. Bring your left hand forward. We'll bring your right hand forward. And we'll find the other side. So start to walk that left hand over to the right. Palm is up. Keep your shoulders square and start to walk your right fingertips forward. Bring the left side of your forehead down to the mat and roll that right shoulder down. And then we'll bring your right hand behind you and tuck it into the inside of that left thigh. And find a stretch there. And then we'll bring both hands forward. We're going to sit up onto our shins, come to the top of the mat. Knees are hip distance apart. Feet are straight back from your knees. And make sure that all 10 of your toes are pressing into the mat, even your pinky toes. I'm going to do a 3-part camel series and then do another camel after that. So bring your right arm all the way up like you're backstroking, and you can tuck your toes under if you need to, if you need a couple more inches. But we're going to roll that right shoulder back, land on your right heel, send your hips forward as you reach that left arm up and over. So this is a really big opening along that left side. Maybe you look behind you over that right shoulder. And then we're just going to continue our backstroke here. So bring your left shoulder and roll it back as your right arm comes forward. Send those hips forward and then reach your right arm up and over. Maybe looking behind over that left shoulder. Keep those hips moving forward. Nice big opening along that right psoas. And then we'll come back in through center. You can leave your toes tucked in for this one, for this first round. Just going to send your hips forward and just continue that back bend that we were just working on, allowing your fingertips to find your heels, sending your hips forward, and then allowing your head to drop back. And then we'll come up, untuck your toes, and have a seat. We're going to do one bonus round of camel after that. Just bring your knees together, ankles together, and just sit for a moment. For this last round of camel, we're going to hold it for kind of a long time, so don't be in a hurry to throw yourself back. Allow yourself several breaths to find a little bit more space. And we'll come up onto our shins. Find that solid foundation, feet pressing into the mat. You can engage your glutes as you find just that slightest bit of a posterior tilt. You can bring your hands behind you. That's how they do it in the Hot 26, or you can start to walk your hands down your backs of your legs, or bring your hands to heart center. Start to push into your feet, send your hips forward. We're going to start to lift. Keep that forward movement. If you end up going back and towards your Kapotasana, then of course your hips will start to go back towards your heels. But at first, keep that movement forward. Start to lift, breathing into that front body, allowing your shoulders to relax, allowing your head to drop back. If you're going to grab for your heels, maybe you grab for your heels. If you were going to send it all the way back, you can send it all the way back. Holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice and slow. With control, head is the last thing to lift. And we'll start to sit on those heels. Bring your knees together and your ankles together. Bring your pinkies into your hip creases. Tuck your chin, round your back, and bring your forehead down to your knees. Just let those elbows hang. Bring your fingertips down to the mat. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees, keep your feet together, just spread your knees out wide. Keep reaching those fingertips forward. This is a garland pose. And then we'll come back, walk those fingertips in. Allow your knees to find the mat, cross your ankles, and sit down. Find a Sukhasana pose, easy pose. Bring your right hand behind you, bring your left hand to the outside of that right thigh, and just roll that right shoulder back, find an easy twist. Come back in through center, bring your left hand behind you. Bring your right hand outside of your left knee and find a twist to the left. Come back in through center, start to walk your hands forward. And we'll bring your hands back in. And we'll switch whatever leg is in front, bring it behind. Adjust your hips, bring your right hand behind you, bring your left hand to the outside of your right thigh, roll that right shoulder back. Keep your hips grounded as you find a rotation in your spine. And then we'll find the other side, left hand behind you, right hand outside of your left knee. And then we'll come back into center and walk those hands forward. Bring your hands back in. I'm going to find one more round of twist, but this time, well, two more rounds, because we're going to do it from either half lotus or a full lotus. So we'll start by bringing that left foot all the way into your right hip crease. If you would like to stay there in your half lotus, you can stay there. If you'd like to bring that right leg up and over and find your full lotus, you can do that. And we'll bring that right hand behind you, roll that right shoulder back, sit up nice and tall. Come back to center. Switch. Come back to center. Reach it forward. Come back in and switch your legs. This time we'll take that right foot, bring it into your left hip crease. You can stay right there, or you can start to walk that, bring that left foot into your right hip crease. Sit up nice and tall, twist to the right. Come back to center, twist to the left. Come back to center, walk it forward. Come back to center. Unpretzel if you like. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your chin. Taking a moment here to close down the eyes. To find yourself still here, still present, still with your body, still with your breath. Thoughts are soft. If any agenda items start to sweep in, just let them roll right by, right? It's like clouds moving across the sky. Don't get invested. Just let them roll by. We'll be there when we're done. Allow your mind to be clear. Bring up call to mind one word today that is going to be your mantra. Maybe it is calm. Maybe it is strength. Maybe it is kind or compassionate. But one word that is going to amplify who you are today as you walk throughout your day, throughout your house. Hold on to it. Attach yourself to it. Namaste, yogis. I'm super grateful for you. Let me come to end the class so I can say goodbye to you.